There are several things you could call me. All of them are correct, unless you call me a slut. That's double correct. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Good morning, everybody. Hello, everybody. How are we doing today? What's today's date? The 5th of January, February, March, April, May, June. June. It's the 5th of June today. Hello, everybody. There's a good chance this is going to go up on YouTube. So hi, YouTube. Say hi to YouTube, everybody. Bye, YouTube. Goodbye, YouTube. That's the video. Hope you had a good video. Like and subscribe. I feel like I'm forgetting something. I feel like I opened this stream for a reason, and I've forgotten what that was. That's right. I got boba tea. Boba tea unboxing. That's what we're doing. This is milk. See? Spuck you. Spuck you, chat. I have delayed this far enough. We have the Switch 2. Wait, I think I can get a better angle for this, probably. Hello. How you doing? Anyway, Switch 2. That's what we have right now. I'm super excited for it. This is the first console I've ever gotten on launch, and I'm really happy about that. Is everybody ready for this? Gosh, how do we go about this? How do we, like, open her up? Alright, you ready? Let's plunge this into our destiny. Yeah. Alright, so here's the front of the screen. Here's the side of the screen. It's all backwards because my webcam is, evil. For those who don't have a Switch 2, for whatever reason, live vicariously through me. Alright, you ready? You ready, chat? This is the moment of a lifetime. Wait. I thought it lifted up! No, it goes forward. Okay. Alright, you ready? Fuck yeah. I don't know, actually. Okay, this is the top. Alright, y'all ready? Y'all ready for this? Oh yeah, look at this. Plastic. It's got some knobs. A second knobs. I might do the Joy-Cons first. As a little teaser, a little foreplay, if you will. Alright, so they all come in a plastic, like individually. Let's just... Oh yeah. A nice, like, matte finish, I want to say. Like, not glossy or anything. Which, like, I'm sure, like, my gamer sweat and, like, natural oils will, like, destroy it with time. But yeah, so here's the left one. I had to check. This is my left one. Okay, so these are the buttons on the top. Like the, oh, they did make the buttons bigger. Let's go with Switch 1 Joy-Cons for comparison, okay? So, first off, size difference. Size difference, this one's definitely bigger. That's good. Cause like these are fun and small, but like this is where like the fun is at, you know? So like the magnets are like over here at the edges. Makes a lot of sense actually, because you know, yes. So I'm just having a little explore the thing. We got the bumpers at the top. I don't know the exact words. And there's ones at the back too. Can you guys see that? Oh yeah. Can't wait for this to have Joy-Con drift in like a month. All right, so that's the left one. Now the right one. Awesome. This is the right one. Oh, that's the capture button. Or the chat button. Not capture button. Magnets again. Buttons also feel good and nice. I guess like if you were going to be using it like in this way, you know, like having like your thumbs on like on these ones, it's a bit more of a reach to like, you know, for like your other hand to like reach up to like the joystick. Cause like, you know, with these ones, you know, it fits comfortably. Like, yeah, like this is how you would naturally kind of like hold this if you were gaming like with like just the one Joy-Con. So it makes sense. With it being bigger, you kind of have to like stretch your thumb a little bit more over. So like I'm sure I'll get used to it with time. That's just something like I noticed like initially. I know it's supposed to be red, but camera's picking up Switch 2 controller orange. It's also like actually in real life it's more of like a paler orange kind of thing. Like it looks very orange here, but it's not like a bright red as I'm used to. It's like a I want to say it's close to like an apricot or a coral color. I'll be honest, I don't like how the Joy-Cons are like all the way black and then like their accents are a different color. I would rather if it would be like, you know, the opposite, like the Switch. I guess it has to like differentiate itself, and like this is like the next like step for that. But I hope when they do it, bring out more Joy-Cons, it's more than just the color black. It feels like Nintendo is trying to like imitate like its other like competitors with like their black controllers and everything, which like, you know, like the Pro Controller, this is my Switch 1 Pro Controller. Pro Controller makes sense why it's black. It's like more standard for like a standard controller. So like you'd think like the Joy-Cons would be like more of a fun color to like, you know, to have like Nintendo's like wackiness. Not that it's a bad thing, it's just something I've noticed with the console as a whole. Here we have the back. Big thick boy. The insides are also the matching colors, so I guess that makes sense. So that way you don't like get them mixed up or anything. Alright, y'all ready? You ready? What if I drop this immediately? That would fucking suck. Oh, it's reflective! Hi! guy? I remember reading that like there'd be like a protective seal over the top of it as like a screen protector. I'm not really seeing it. Either like there's no like sort of like tab that you can pull. Either like it's on there and like there's like no way to like peel it off, or this one just does not have that at all, I suppose. Let's get the Joy-Cons in because like it's supposed to be magnet. Oh, I'm already feeling a little bit of a magnet pull. I can feel like the magnets are working. Okay, there we go. Nice and easy, snap it off. I'm just gonna like see like, okay, if I like bend it like one way or another, it doesn't feel like it's giving way. Because I was worried about like, you know, people gaming and then being like, oh, because like you sometimes like you kind of like grip a controller sort of like in this direction, like when you're really intense. So I'm a bit worried about that. All right, easy pull, easy pull. Oh, actually, it's like pretty sturdy. Unless, is this button the release button? It is! Okay, okay. Right, okay, I thought it was like another like game button I just didn't like pay attention to. So like when you press this button here, you can kind of see how the, you can see how the, this little nub is coming out. That's what separates it from the magnet. So let's step it back in. Oh, even like there's even like a plus and, okay, just a plus up there as well to like show you like, yeah, that's the plus side. And I guess over here, yeah, over here has the minus side, so that way you can't get it mixed up. Awesome. Okay, so I'm just pulling it pretty strong actually. Even if I were to like sort of like hold it, these aren't gonna snap off, which is really good. So what? So instead of doing the like snap down like the Switch 1, you like press these buttons and then they come off. Okay. Yeah, this is the console as it is. Yep. Awesome. I have the Switch 1 here, and I've got the Switch 2 here. As you can see, big size difference. The fact that I can put my Switch 1 over the top of the Switch 2 and then have the Switch 2 completely envelop it. Like, hold on, let me just... You can't see my Switch 1 for, like, because it's like behind it and everything. So it's obviously like a lot bigger. Thickness. I want to say this one's a bit thicker as well, which makes sense actually. Matte finish. This one's glossy. Like the Switch 1 has like a glossy sort of finish. This one's matte. His name is Matthew. Hello. The stands. Okay, as we all know, the kickstand for the Switch 1, very small, very flimsy, and if you're like playing video games like this, it tends to like sort of like, yeah, it's very easy to snap off. The kickstand is a lot bigger. You can see here. Where's the ideal spot to like pull it out from? Either like the speakers or maybe like this part here. Ooh, okay, so like it's already sturdy. That feels a lot more stable than what it was before. There we go, and it can go as far as here. Okay, awesome. I don't know why you have it like all the way down, but like at least there is an option for those who want to have it all the way down. The speakers are down there. That's the charging port, and over here is the micro SD insert section. So like very much this, like it's pretty much the same spot that like the Switch 1 was in. The Switch has a very unique shape, and I'm glad they like sort of like kept that, even if they just like, you know, made it bigger. Looks huge, but it seems like a reasonable not a size bigger than the first Switch. Exactly. I don't know, I can't compare this to like an OLED or like anything else that's like bigger than like the initial first Switch, but like it's a decent size. It's a pretty good size. Feels really comfortable to like hold. This left nub is in a good spot for me to like hold it there, and like, you know, it makes sense for them to like have the nubs like really close to the D-pads and everything for when you're holding it like this, so that way, you know, like it's an easy transition. I hope the Switch case that they have for it is cute. Ooh, true. I really hope like they have like a lot of cute Switch accessories as well. I feel like we're dancing around the fun. Let's turn this bad boy on, shall we? Nintendo! You guys can barely see it. I'm surprised it didn't make the buttons colored on the Joy-Cons too. Ooh, that would have looked really good actually. Because like the black on black, you know, while it's stylish and sleek, if it was like more of like if they had the other colors, like that'd be awesome. I want to open up more of this. I want to get the dock. Important information. We don't need information. We know what a Switch is. It's a game. It goes broom. Ooh, okay, so these actually, I'm intrigued about this. We all know if you're trying to play the Nintendo Switch on Joy-Cons and everything, you have these things. You can hook it up into there. Either of them will work for either one. Hook it in, then you can play the game like that. This looks to be the same thing, obviously. This is the Switch 2's version of those, but they're color-coded, so I'm thinking they're not interchangeable like the Switch 1. All right, let's get this bad boy out, squeeze her out like a toothpaste. Alright, so as you can see, they're color-coded. I guess this is like the magnet piece that's there that goes on the outside. I think they might be interchangeable because this side has a plus and this side also has a minus, so they might be interchangeable. You don't slide it on, you clip it in. Feels comfortable. You know, you can still actually like reach the buttons. For the Switch 1's one of these. You know, like because the buttons on, if you're playing Joy-Con mode, the buttons on the buttons in here are like flat, like on par with the rest of it. So, you know, these Joy-Con straps have extra buttons so that way, like, you know, you can actually press the buttons comfortably. With these ones being more, with these Joy-Cons being more closer to like they're more bulging out. It kind of like does the inverse where they make the buttons flat and like you can still press them, like they're still comfortable and everything. But it's not, it doesn't like bulge out like the Switch 1. I'm gonna see if they're interchangeable because that could be kind of fun if like they're interchangeable. So this is the blue one. Ideally meant to be for the left one, but you can use it for the right, I'm assuming. Oh, wait, no, actually, I don't think you can. Wait, actually, it does. It does work, actually. My mistake. Okay, so you can actually interchange them. That is interesting. Okay, I think I'm coming around to like the solid black color with like the blue and the red accents. What is this? What is this? Okay, it's the Joy-Con grip for like when you want to use the Joy-Cons. But as a controller, okay. Ooh, okay, I'm already seeing differences. Okay, so this is the Switch 2 Joy-Con grip, and this is the Switch 1 Joy-Con grip. Obviously, there's two things I'm noticing right away. One is the size. Again, because the Switch 2 Joy-Cons are bigger, because the console's bigger, it makes sense for this to be bigger. But also, with this one, you can see there are grooves. Because, like, I guess this makes sense because with the Switch 1, you insert Joy-Cons from the top, right? And it's like there's, like, grooves set out and, like, a nice controller grip there. So that way it's, like, an easy transition to, like, an actual controller. It feels like an actual controller like this. With it, like, you know, having a spot. This one's just flat. Like, it just sits flat, which I guess makes sense because the Joy-Cons are bigger and they don't slide down like before. They instead go in from the side. Is there a magnet in there? There is a magnet. Okay, it does slide in. It makes sense for them to not have like anything there because it's gonna like insert from a direction. I'm sure it's not gonna like feel super weird, but like there is a gap there where your hand goes. So like you'll feel it obviously, but I think like after a while it might be like, it might like not be an issue. It's not an issue at all. It's just something that I've like noticed immediately. Like, oh, okay, interesting. This should be the dock. Okay, big and bulky. Pull her out of the box. Oh yeah. All right, so this is the side view. This is the front view. This is top down. Okay, so like it's got like some ventilation holes down the bottom. That's good. So that way it doesn't like overheat. Here is the back. Rotund in the back. That's how I like my women. There's a little inserty bit here, and if we open this from the top, this just comes off straight up. Okay. To you versus the dock she tells you not to worry about. No, it's okay, baby. This dock's just a friend. Yeah, damn. Okay, so like it does come off entirely instead of being on a hinge. You know, as long as like the stand for like the console itself is like on a hinge and doesn't come off, it doesn't matter too much. And I guess it makes it easier for you to like get into here and like, you know. Anyway, let's insert our cables. AC. There we go. I was so worried it wasn't like fitting. I was worried like this was like a different size AC, so I was like, oh, do I have to like go onto my desk and like unplug everything? But no, awesome. All right, y'all ready? This is the moment of time. I'm going to put my my Switch into the brand new dock. Yeah, about that. Turns out the Switch 1 USB-C can't handle the Switch 2, so I did in fact need to crawl under my desk to reorganize my cables. So I didn't end up showing anything else on stream after this point, but I figured I would jump on the mic to share my initial thoughts real quick. Obviously, as you saw, the Switch 2 is much bigger than the Switch 1, which is really good. I imagine it would make it easier to see the screen from further away while playing it in tabletop mode, or even in handheld mode. The Joy-Cons feel nice to hold with them being larger too, so anybody with big hands has no need to worry. However, like I mentioned earlier, the Joy-Cons being bigger make it a touch awkward to hold in single Joy-Con mode. Makes sense for them to move everything up on the Joy-Con, but now you gotta stretch one of your thumbs over a little bit further to like reach the D-pad or the joystick. I'm sure I'll get used to it with time, but initially it did throw me off. The buttons also feel really satisfying to press, and the joysticks also feel really smooth. Let's hope we don't get any Joy-Con drift anytime soon. But even if Joy-Con drift starts to develop, we have other methods of navigating the system: mouse controls. This is something I had actually forgotten about until I began editing the video, but I just had to give it a try. The mouse controls are interesting, to say the least. Like, I wouldn't say they're bad, but as someone who uses their PC a lot, I'm very used to how a real mouse feels. The first thing I noticed is that obviously, the Joy-Cons are not as wide as a real mouse. I'm so used to having my hand comfortably wrap around a real mouse that it felt really strange to use a mouse that only had room for 2 fingers at most. I'm also an insane person who uses a mouse on one of the highest sensitivities, so it was initially really jarring to use something much slower than what I consider normal. You can change the mouse sensitivity in the settings, however limited said settings can be. I hope I can get used to the new mouse controls over time, but I doubt it would ever compare to a real mouse. Maybe I'll change my tune if Nintendo releases a controller that's better suited for mouse controls? Who knows? Okay, I have no transition for this, so next point. While the eShop isn't the exact same as in the Switch one, it hasn't had a major shakeup either. The lack of music is a small disappointment, but navigating the shop feels a lot quicker than it used to, so overall, it's still an upgrade. I like how the extended software menu also has the option to put games into groups, which is a nice feature for those with massive game libraries. The home screen interface itself is virtually the same as the Switch one, but a small detail I noticed is that the game icons have rounded corners in the two. As for other small details, the Switch 2 has a small jingle that plays when you wake it up while docked, and another one when you unlock it in handheld mode. Overall, there seems to be a lot of smaller things here and there that have been totally revamped, and I'm so glad they didn't just copy and paste these details from the first console. I really like the direction they went with for the sound design for the console, especially these main menu icons down the bottom that have a unique sound effect when opening those menus. It makes the home screen feel more Nintendo. Speaking of, I feel like the system itself, and to some extent the Switch one, is starting to stray from that classic Nintendo charm that longtime fans come to expect from the company. Ever since they initially announced the Switch 2 and showed bits and pieces over time, I've always kind of felt like the system is trying to be like its contemporaries, with a sleek modern design and an equally modern and simplified menu to match. Of course, it hasn't veered entirely into that direction, but I feel like this is the closest that they've come to that in a long while. Or maybe I'm getting old and have entered my new thing bad, old thing good phase of life. Either way, I'm glad to have spent my money on this, despite the price being on the steeper side of things. The system is an obvious upgrade from the first Switch, and so far, I think it was worth the money for me. I mean, that being said, I haven't played any fucking games on it yet, but what do you think? Is the Switch 2 a waste of money? Are you saving up all your loose change for it? Or are you one of the lucky ones who got it day one just like me? Let me know in the comments down below. And thanks for watching, I'll see you later.